It's more than just a show. It's community. It's the Stillwater Morning Scramble with Steve Daniels on the Triple Play Sports Radio Network.
Stillwater's Morning Scramble, 825. Glad to have you here. And Jesse Martin's in with OSU Athletics. Your life changed in the last few days or not?
Yeah, it's picked up pace tremendously.
Yeah.
And, some of that's with my own kids going back to school, too, trying to juggle, being a parent and also having home game barreling down on you, right?
You don't have time to worry now.
Yeah, you just keep going. So you get up and get those kids off to school, and then you get your stuff done. And
you still get as excited before the season?
I really do. Yeah. I really do. Especially, this year it was one of those where a lot of you've done it so long. You have team members that's been there that it's like, okay, are we missing something, right? Because everything's going so smooth, and what it is everybody knows their role, and you've had some people that's in place that so instead of them in the last 3 weeks trying to figure that out, it was figured out 3 weeks before. So we're just that much more ahead, and so the running around with kind of that managed chaos isn't quite there. It's more like, hey, we're just doing some final tweaks right now, which that's exactly where you want to be, right? You want to be in a place where you can sit back, make some tweaks, not trying to implement things in that last 2 weeks. We have a great group up there at OSU Athletics, and we all don't go hang out after 5 o'clock, but it's in the workplace. It's your brothers and sisters that you work with in the trenches, and just because we don't go out and hang out because we all have families, right? And there's times when we get together that we go, man, we should do this more, but life goes on with all of our individual stuff, and but it's a tight-knit family up there, and it's fun, and there's accountability, and I guess the reason or the way that I know that I still get excited is you get some butterflies about certain things. So one, with the season coming down, you get some butterflies, and that's when you know that you care a little bit. And I even had that experience Sunday night where you go speak in front of these teams. So all the new freshmen and the whole team is back together for the start of the year for the softball team.
You spoke to the softball team.
Yeah, you talk to them, and you get those butterflies, and it's like, why are you getting butterflies? You go in front of a classroom full of kids, you get on the radio, you talk to Lions Club and Kiwanis and stuff like that, and there's just something about it that's special about that next group of student athletes.
Well, and
you can be impressionable on them.
Anytime it's a little out of your comfort zone, or it's not what you do every day.
Yep.
Because I'm always amazed when we'll have doctors and stuff in on Wednesdays, and sometimes they are really nervous.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, okay, they may be operating on somebody later today.
Would you be nervous?
So much.
You'd be so nervous doing that.
Well, yeah, not as nervous as the patient, let me tell you. but it's not their comfort zone. Yeah. And so it's like your day is going to be so much more important than my day if they're doing that. But when they come in and they got butterflies at first, it's because it's not in their comfort zone. It's that simple. And then once you get in your wheelhouse, then you're there, right?
No, I agree with you 100%. So having those butterflies is good too, right? It feels good. It kind of shows that it's important to you. And
it does.
If you're a little nervous about it. So we're at that point of year where it's barreling down, and we just had a big post-game traffic meeting yesterday, our final one to tweak. And one thing that I brought to the table and did a little presentation on is we talked about that GPS system that's going to help us get guests to and from wherever their parking lot is, hopefully in an easier fashion. And that GPS system or that app is called Waze, W-A-Z-E. You'll hear me talk more and more about that. But we've created a landing page called okstate.com/Waze, W-A-Z-E, and it has all of our parking lots listed for a football game, and you'll be able to click the one that you're going. What that will do is it'll get you right to your parking lot. If we take it for granted that we're here in Stillwater all the time. Like, Steve, you're driving around all the time. I'm driving around here. But we have guests that come in only 5, 6, 7, 10 times a year that, they're just not as familiar as the back of their hand, right? And so we want to ease a little bit of that that driveway anxiety, I think is what I called it last week, where you just get a little anxious about not knowing where am I going to park and, if I want to tailgate and all that. So we're trying to help you with that. And but this will take you right to your parking lot. Some of the cool things that will help with us is if you use that app, we'll get some analytic data on the back end to see what town you're coming from. Won't tell us who you are, but what town you're coming from, and with a heat map, so we can see we all have gut feelings on where people are coming and routes they use throughout the city. This will help us even get smarter about it on the back end. So once we see that analytical side, we'll be able to get some smarter people than me to analyze that. And then if we need to make tweaks on streets that maybe we had a restricted turn here and we thought that's what we needed. The data might tell us something different, so we'll be able to make some very smart data-driven decisions.
Based on just the zip codes, do you have an idea where people are coming from anyway?
We do, based on zip codes, right? And
Tulsa obviously is a big fan base, but did they come more from Tulsa, from Oklahoma City, or from the north?
If you want to look at our main arteries of people coming in, we have a lot of people that travel 177, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And when you get to that, you're thinking up there in the Newkirk, Blackwell, Ponca City, probably even Enid, right, where they're coming across 412 and coming down.
Right.
But a lot of our traffic comes from 35 up, from Oklahoma City and the Dallas metro area, and then you have the Tulsa metro area coming in from the east. So if I had to rank it, you'd say probably number one would be from the south, number two from the east, and then from the north would be the other.
Yeah.
Right. And if you look at just I don't know what the correct word, but just like clusters of where metropolitan areas are, that makes sense, right? We don't have quite as big a metro area west of I-35. So you would think that would probably be pretty close to the number four if you're picking all four directions, right? So, but this will help us get even smarter to, okay, if you're coming from Dallas or coming from Oklahoma City, but you're parking on the north side, what is that driving factor? Can we communicate to you that, hey, we have some parking on that south side that could make your game day even easier, and you might just park on the north because that's what you've done for the last 10 years too, right? And that's what you know, and that's part of your game day routine. That'll help us get smarter.
And if they come and tailgate, they also have an association with that.
Yeah, where they're going there. And then we'll ask fans to use that same app to get home. And this is hopefully the beauty of people using the Waze app, is when we ask you to get home, we'll be able to upload all of our traffic restrictions, road closures into that app, so it will reroute you. Because we've all been in our vehicles or on our phones before where we've used a GPS, and you get there and the road's closed. You're like, why did this thing took me down here?
So
and
it's not only the Waze app; it's the wrong Waze app.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So the Waze app hopefully will get you, around all of our road closures, or route you through the routes that we'd like you to go to. So it's all. I think this first year we won't know as much, but it'll get bigger and better as we go on and on.
There you go. We've got a caller on the line, and you're on the air on the Morning Scramble with Jesse Martin. Hi.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
I come from Enid, and I park over by the RV lot. I don't park in the RV lot. I just park over by it someplace. Now, would I put in on the Waze app the RV lot, or would I just kind of look, and how would I do that?
Well, you would be able. So we have a lot of our free lots listed on there as well. We don't have all of them. So we do on our parking lots. I went through all of them, from free ones to ticket holder ones to Posse ones to downtown here as well, our RV ones, as many lots as I could, even university paid ones like the parking garages. So you'd like to grab the one closest. If you're parking on a side street that might have only 10 or 15 parking spots, I didn't grab all of those, but you just want to grab the closest adjacent lot that's there, and it'll help you get in. And then definitely use that app on the way home. It'll help you route you through some of our post-game traffic and hopefully get you back in.
I usually come in from the north and then leave from the south. Mm-hmm. I found that was easier. But with Waze, I like it because they tell you if the traffic's crowded and all that.
Yeah, it'll continue to. For those that aren't familiar with Waze, it's very user-driven platform, meaning as you're driving, and we'll say Steve and I are in the car. Steve's driving, right, because we don't want him on his phone while he's driving. But I'm sitting there and I see it's congested. You go up there and update, hey, there's congestion here at Western and 51. And so then all the Waze community gets that information real time that, hey, there's congestion here. So I think you're spot on. Going to the north post game, there's definitely a few places that bottlenecks where Washington and Boomer come together, and then again at Lakeview and Boomer. So I think the route that you're taking, 51 to the east, is going to get you home the quickest.
Right. Yeah. Just years of experience. I just found out that my blood pressure is not quite as high.
Well, if we can help you, always give us a call at the athletic department and here when I'm on here with Steve, and we'd be more than happy to walk you through it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very good. She already knows what she's doing, I think, huh?
Yep. So we just want to continue to help everybody, and then your blood pressure does go down. I mean, there's nothing probably more stressful. I don't get to be in this scenario, but I get to hear it from friends and family and things like that. But you had a great time at the game. We won. you're all excited, and then you're stuck in traffic, and then just bumper to bumper to traffic. Just kind of brings you from that high down to the low. So we want to eliminate some of that, and hopefully we'll continue to get better and better.
You know, the people go to lots of game events, though, and I've been to a few. We get out of the stadium about as well as anybody I've seen, because we go from different directions. I think that's the thing. The pressure points are different here than we've talked about before. If you go to Arrowhead or a Royals game, they have one huge parking lot. It's great when you're coming in and you just get your parking lot there, but you have to sit sometimes for an hour to get, what do they have, 3 exits there or something like that? It takes forever. And so I think even though that is stressful, we've got it down kind of.
Well, we'll continue to here as soon as we get that updated post-game traffic map, because there'll be some different restrictions where you can't turn a certain way and you're like, man, I want to go that way. We're going to reroute you, similar to if you've ever been to Branson. There's some routes that you're like, why am I on that green route? It's taking me 2 miles here, and I want to go 1 mile to this in the opposite direction. But they route you that way, and it's even faster, right, because of traffic and stuff like that. So we'll continue to get that out there, communicate to people. I can tell you, in our world, post-game traffic's a big deal. You know, we talk a lot about it because it's important, because we know the competition is staying at home, right? And anything that we can do to make your trip in and out of Stillwater around an event here, more than likely you'll come back and be a repeat visitor. So that's what we want to do, and that's why we talk a lot about it.
Well said. I liked how you tied that in to whether you're going to a ball game or Silver City, either one. You've got them both figured out.
We got them all figured out. That's actually where a lot of when you look at it, it's like they have it figured out. So we believe a lot in R&D, and that's not research and development. It's rip off and duplicate. So you you find something that's working somewhere else, you rip it off and you duplicate it here.
I agree.
And make it work how it works for us, right? And just put our spin on it.
What else we have to get out there today?
We're just barreling down on that. Christy did allude that we do have the Posse Auction this weekend. So if you're still, I know there was some talk about that yesterday on Casey's show, but if you're interested in coming to that, go to okstate.com/auction. It's a great time. We're going to honor the 95 Golf Championship team. Hear some great stories. I think Coach Annan put it in the best perspective. Auction is kind of secondary. It's more of just a fun social event. Yeah, there is a live auction component. Yeah, there's some silent auction boards if you want to go get anything from sod to speakers to gift baskets and things like that. But the main thing about it is just the socializing aspect. And we have a lot of our coaches there, a lot of our coaching support staff that's around them. Our student athletes are there meeting and greeting people as they come in and working around so they can take selfies and things like that. So it's just one of those nights. Normally, you come to Stillwater and you're winning or losing and you feel good or feel great. Hopefully you come to the Posse Auction, you just feel great the whole time, right? Because there's no scoreboard up there. You might feel a little lighter in your pocketbook, if you find that special item, because there are a lot of items that you probably can't get in a lot of different places that's OSU athletics related, whether it's memorabilia or special experiences. So you might come home a little lighter, but you should have a good time and a great experience.
And you have all that sod, right? There you go.
No, I'm excited. I want to get some of that sod, Steve. Don't be telling everybody.
There you go. So, anything we missed?
No, that's about it. And next week we'll probably get in a little bit more. We're going to be one day away from playing up in Oregon next week.
You will be here, though, right?
I will be here. I'm not going.
Okay.
So, got things to get done here.
There you go. So, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the call. Appreciate that. So, there's Jesse Martin with OSU Athletics.
It's more than just a show. It's community. It's the Stillwater Morning Scramble with Steve Daniels on the Triple Play Sports Radio Network.